Big. Nice.
This is gonna be very, very interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Welcome to SSX Tricky. This is going to be
DVD content?
DVD moments.
I've never...
This is SSX.
Okay, I've never seen this.
Years ago, I had this idea to do a motocross-like event on snowboards. So we staged the first ever border cross race. It had speed, people riding head-to-head, it had berms, and it had jumps. We thought we would do SSX, and then we'd move on to creating a new sport experience in a similar vein.
Couldn't get off the bike to do this interview?
Design something that is way beyond the scope of what you can actually pull off in the first versions.
Now we get to take the fruits of our labor and say, okay, we got the core experience down. Now let's build the worlds we really wanted to build.
Far away from simulation snowboarding, and out here somewhere, we're throwing stuff in there which is just woo 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 woo.
My normal tendency is to leave things as they are if they're working. However, it's the tendency of producers to want to keep pushing and pushing the technology.
In this kind of game, we're not telling a story, we're creating an experience.
Very good. Alright, I mean, okay.
Tricks.
There's nothing in the game that we do that's impossible, but there's a lot of stuff that we do that's very unlikely. There's a lot of the new Uber tricks where people
I guess it's not impossible, but that's...
stick it back on. Well, people aren't doing that yet, but someday people will be.
This character's got an inline skating influence, so she's doing what's called a soul grind, which
people are going to be doing that?
I'll have to correct me, but it's got the rear leg. If she was wearing skates, she'd be riding the flat of the blade into the...
For sure. Alright, I'm not... Okay, next. Okay, like, I get it. But music.
I brought a bag of beats that I produced in my compound. Brought them over and brought a whole bunch of vinyl.
Damn.
Did what he does, so we get some great stuff.
I come back here to EA Sports with a new approach. I know what to expect with this new SSX game.
This year I was thinking the music, I wanted to be like hip hop and breaks and techno breaks and stuff like that. So we wanted a lot of like breakbeat DJs and things like that, things that were sort of more funky and like fatter beats. We wanted like a pretty funky feel to the soundtrack this year.
Nice.
We worked the track so that you have like the interactive moments come to life, like the shortcuts, the music kind of goes into down tempo. SSX has a really, really cool piece of proprietary software. It enables us to actually remix the music in real time, interactively, and do some really cool stuff with it that I don't think any other gaming company is doing. For instance, Aphrodite, drum and bass DJ from the UK, he was here on tour. So I called up at his offices and said, like when you're in Vancouver, you gotta stop in at EA and I'll show this stuff to you. And so he sat in here and showed it to him. He just totally got it, because I guess video game music kind of has a reputation for not really being that good. So when we tell them, no, we're not gonna make it sound bad. We're gonna actually make it sound really cool. Once they see it in action, they really, really understand what we're doing.
I'm really trying to choose specific sounds that would go with the different variations of movement on the gameplay. My form of music is pretty improvisational, but still trying to keep that format without going over the edge. But sometimes we like to go over the edge. Just gonna see how it goes. We're gonna hit the record button and we're just gonna freeform and go all out.
Oh yeah.
He's pulling records out of there and throwing them down on the table and literally grabbing them and bending them and...
I don't know, something. It's just like sounds.
Man, that's sick. I want to do that someday.
And
it'd be so cool.
Make all kinds of music on my mini disc.
Oh,
put them on,
that's
and
dope.
just go down the hill. And when you're out there, it's a whole inspirational. You're getting different emotions, and you're just feeling different from being in the studio. My whole life is revolved around music, so when I'm snowboarding, it's the same thing to me. Basically, I'm just like shooting them all the sounds, all the beats, just everything in there, really placing them for me in the computer. It's a blank canvas, and then you layer all the beats and all the drum tracks, and then you put all the organs in. Like say if you're building a human body, you lay down the skeleton, and then you put the organs in. You put the liver, you put the brain, and then you put the heart, and then you layer the skin over, and you know.
I knew it would go well. He's the best in the world. It had to go well.
Aw. He was so cute with that. He was so cute with that.